Allow the two children to have the budget. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call am hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary láyé bí number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary láyé bí number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary láyé bí number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary láyé bí number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary láyé bí number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary láyé bí number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary láyé bí number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary láyé bí number one. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary láyé bí number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary láyé bí number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary láyé bí number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary láyé bí number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. àní èso lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní èso lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní èso lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní èso lájú.
Today, hello there. So, good morning to you. Good afternoon to you once again. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun Live. And thank you very much for joining me again. If this is the first time today, you're welcome. And if it is your second, you're welcome back. After reading the caption of the broadcast, please read the description of the broadcast as well. Then like it, which is your offering. Yeah, like it, share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends and tell them that Mayegun is live. And sit back, relax. Let me unpack. So welcome once again, brethren. So tonight we are starting with another clip from the nocturnal meetings that are being called, organized in northern part of Nigeria. You see, we have the APC, Egbekegbes, doing their own inroad, railroad of rebuilding broken relationships and all of that, all for their 2027. Then you have the ADC, the coalition that is indeed causing some ripples. As much as they send people on TV to tell the people to ignore them, but they themselves are not really ignoring their coalition. So one of them is Kazaure, the son of Kazaure, right? A very funny guy, you know, the guy, you know. So we've seen, also we've heard those who attended their northern meetings, and according to their permutations and political calculations, Tinubu has no chance. So like I said, on the one part, we have the Akumes, the Ribadums, you know, Yubasonis, and others who are there to remind the North that Tinubu is not the cause of their problems. That's what they told their people. While the Atikus, the El Rufayas, and the Kazaures as well, and you do have Bashir Lawal and others as well, who are telling the Northerners that Tinubu is a disaster. So between these two groups, one just said that if everything goes according to their plan, by 12 noon on the day of your election, right, in 2027, Koolu will be gone. He's not the first to say it. There are those who are saying that if they bring Gobi and Atiku together, Tinubu will be gone by 12. If you bring this and that together, this and that will be. So we are starting from that tonight, among other stories. So thank you so much for joining me once again. Now let's get it started. It's quite loaded, I would say. Kazaure.
To the local government, to the state local government, come Abuja and do the free and back. I am sure by 12 noon, as well do have done it. Therefore, this is our confidence to put justice in this our journey, because no part in this country that will fight us for us, because they are already missing. Look at, we are borrowing $22 billion. $22 billion. While we know there is more than 7 to 6 quadrillion in the hands of people. Government money. Personally, Mr. President, he called me before he was swearing in. I give him all my investigation, and I put all the files I give him, over 100 and something trillion naira. By then we calculated over $113 billion. I give him, instead of him to recover the money, to build the country, he forget it, and we are borrowing, leaving some people with trillions of naira. So they are messed up this country. We are ready to win, and we will win, inshallah.
I mean, he's making some very valid points if you come to think of it. So, if everything goes according to their plan, Koolu will be gone before 12 noon because he has failed. They keep borrowing while the people continue sorrowing. Quite a valid argument. And it seems the Tinubu's gang are realizing that. So to them, you would have to beat them in their propaganda. Because according to them, everything is fine. All these guys are just interested in power. And it is not the power to serve the people. Usually the incumbents always say that, don't they? The incumbent will remind everybody that those who are, when they are failing, right? They'll say those who are coming to take our job, they are just coming to destroy the country. Even though we have failed, yes, we failed, but you know something, our failure is manageable. The failure of those ones that are coming is different because they are only interested in power. So people have said that Tinubu, when it comes to politics, that is his own turf. Is pretty much like terrain. And these ones can't beat him when it comes to that. They couldn't beat him when he had no executive presidential power. How do they think they are going to do it now when he has all the power? This is the argument of others who believes that, you know, Tinubu is going nowhere. Even if they have no support for him, but, you know, he's going nowhere. While others continue to remind that kind of people that, listen, oh, it will go the moment the same set of people who validated the illegitimacy of Tinubu, once they said they are done, it will go. I say, okay. So that makes it like a duel to look forward to, with so many other factors surrounding it too. So Kazaure, as a typical northerner, he was raised to believe that nobody comes to power in Nigeria without them. And surprisingly, he seems to be right. I'll tell you. When Koolu, who has been a veteran politician, you say a veteran politician, somebody who, you know, had won elections, whether in the real context is like a rigged elections, right? But he's won elections, he's sponsored people to, you know, to be declared winners of elections. But that same Tinubu, because he wanted to be president of Nigeria, decided to do what normally he would never do, except when he was under the under intense pressure of losing something that is so close to grabbing. So when they saw the idea of a Muslim ticket to him, he couldn't resist. They were holding his jugular. He had no real dependable ally. Not really. That's why it is paining them all. Because they were able to use that Muslim Mumu ticket to hoodwink the Mumus who fell for their religious antics. So they feel cheated. They feel somehow like a use. These guys from the north. So they believe that without them, if as other places were kind of like a crumbling apart, including Lagos and others, right? If they allow same to happen, Atiku may possibly be your president today in their own permutation. Because to them, Peter Obi, no. In all of it, now one deal gone wrong. So which has now pitted them against each other. And according to them, if their base is gone, not even those he's been given appointment to can help him. But in all of this, right, you can possibly just say, well, they're just rambling. I don't think Tinubu's people sees them as rambling, even if they want to make it look like that. Yesterday, the one that is the SGF, whose people have been slaughtered in Benue, Georgia, Kume, was among the delegation who went to Kaduna to go and sing the praises of Tinubu and reminding the people of northern Nigeria that, listen, you should be grateful to Koolu, because if not for him, your situation would have been worse. Rather, you should blame those who have had the opportunity from northern Nigeria and ended up, living in northern Nigeria worse off. So they reminded the people of the north that, listen, there's this unwritten arrangement, and you needed to be reminded. Tinubu will not leave until 2031. And anyone who is against that in northern Nigeria must be seen as enemy of Nigeria. That is the antic of APC, mostly their politicians. If I say African Wala, man, I don't like African Wala. So the next thing is going to be, Mayego said he hates Africans. How? African Wala is just a nickname. African Wala. That's not the entire Africa. Say, no, it's a lie. Is African Wala not a black man? Do you even understand the importance of that African? And you said you don't like him. That means you hate Africans. Do you understand? That's what they do. So if you say, I don't like Tinubu, they will say, it's because you are enemy of Nigeria. That means you don't like your country. That means you don't like Nigeria. I say, no, don't gaslight me. I'm talking about Tinubu. Yeah, but he's the president. He's the number one person in Nigeria. So he's the president. He's gonna go. If anybody says they don't like him now, imagine Ghanians now saying they don't like Tinubu. Is that not them saying that they don't like Nigerians? And I say, Olori Brukuni, I understand who you are. I'm just saying. Doesn't really mean that you don't, that one person represents everyone. That's impossible. It's called gaslighting, so to say. Anyway, we are saying good luck to them with all of this, okay? Because Koolu's people, like I said again, right? They were also in that north to remind them and say, hey, this going nowhere. In Georgia Kume's voice.
And uncommon SGF. You see, I want to appeal to us all. By this conception, the North, the region that is so dear to me, will be eligible for the presidency in 2031, not 2027. I said this because I love you. We love all of you. Let us not do something that will undermine our territorial integrity, and tomorrow people may be tempted to support others against us. Nigeria will not cease to exist.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele. Nuisance.
Hey, guys, don't remove this feeding bottle from my mouth until 2031. Because I love you. I love all of you. Don't remove this feeding bottle from my mouth. That's what he's saying. is the SGF, deaf and dumb SGF. I don't know what they did to actually take him to Kaduna. That will tell you that, Tomo. They were sending everybody they could send. They are organizing. Do you know how many times they have endorsed Tinubu? These same guys, they will call their group together, entertain themselves with lies and all that. Sometimes they give themselves awards. So award of the perfect, excellent failure. So they give themselves awards. And they will endorse Koolu. We hereby endorse Presidiots Escobar, Ebola, Tinubu for second time. Yeah, then they will go to the media and say, hey, media, the entire North is behind him. Did you not see the summit we organized in Gombe 2 weeks ago? Oh, you missed that one. We had another one in Sokoto. It was attended by all the 19 northern state governors. Sultan of Sokoto, Emir of Gombe, everybody, same people that attended the one for last 2 weeks in Gombe. They are the ones who attended another one in Sokoto, did the same thing, said the same words and all those fancy jargons. Then they will go again and say, we are doing it in Nasarawa. Mr. President is just sweeping endorsement everywhere, from everywhere. Same people. So it reeks of inferiority complex, which Tinubu himself sort of like is paragon of inferiority complex. Every now and then he wants to remind himself that he is your president. At least I am the president. I am the commander-in-chief. After all, I am the president. Koolu, you know? Inferiority complex. I am the president. President. So how does it pronounce it again? No, I am the president. No, president. I'm the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria, like that. Koolu. Inferiority complex is called. That you have to be reminded that sorry. They say Ashiwaju. Says Baja. Why is he calling me Ashiwaju? They say no, he's just calling you Ashiwaju. Am I not president? You are Mr. President, Mr. President of the Federal. Anyway, I have to remind all of you. I am the president. I'm the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Say, Alaye, calm down, Jerry. Like, do you have to be reminded every now and then? Or do you have to remind yourself in your head and all that? Sure you get. So, Akume, the secretary to the government of the Federation, who is from Benue, a criminal, a thief, was once arrested for looting Benue State as anyway, long story short, if you are not a criminal, you can't work with Tinubu. So Akume and others went to Kaduna, right, to go and tell everyone and say, don't take the food from our mouth. Oh. I said that this afternoon. I said, majority of you don't know that. What they call the establishment. Maybe you probably did know. You see, what they call the establishment cut across just one person. Goes beyond one person. All right. So Koolu as the head, and every person he gives appointment to, every person that is feeding from your commonwealth. They have become stakeholders, because take Bokwari Zone as an example. Where is Tunde Sabitu now? What are those names that you used to hear around that time who appeared to be like forever? Now they kind of had their own full stuff for 8 years. And the reason why they did all they did in defense of Bokwari and, you know, his murderous government was because if Bokwari's regime ended in 2019, majority of them who have built their dreams, how they are going to have their own properties abroad, how they are going to secure the ones they have abroad, how their family, children will have, you know, majority have built their dreams on that. So when you see them go out, you will be thinking, Why are they this toxic? Why are they this divisive? Why are they this angry? Like, you are working for the people. Why are you talking to them like that? Why are you dividing the people and making them like we versus them? When the policies that affect everyone spared no one. So why are the government worker or government appointees so condescending, so insulting, so reckless and all that? The reason is very simple. They have to do all of that so that they can keep their feeding bottle. It's not because they love Nigeria. Whether you like take loan, share the money, steal the money, impoverish everybody, they will build their own survivor and the future survivor on the term they get with the guy who is at the top. So the guy at the top doesn't even have to do anything. Do you understand? Tinubu doesn't even have to do anything anymore. Now them go, they bring idea. Esa, this is what we plan to do. You see, Esa, we've just finished speaking with the chief of staff, chief service chiefs now. So we've told them that they need to man this area. So we are planning to ensure that all these places are, and then we expect 16 million from here, 15 million from here, and yes, sir. It's a very much perfect plan. It will just be like, okay. What do you need? No, we just want to let you know we have everything we need, sir. As soon as we're going to say, Tinubu this, Tinubu that, it doesn't even have to do anything. If they want people, if they see anybody that should be killed, it doesn't have to see who should be killed, who should be arrested, who should be jailed, whose business should be targeted. It doesn't have to know anything anymore. Because is remaining in power. So mean like him remaining in power is their own survivor. So Nigeria can burn and all of that. They will burn Nigeria in his name. And I want them to please do that, not just literally, like they should do it in reality. Because if people get to know more of that, those who are keeping them in this bondage, right? They are not doing it simply because they love Nigeria. They are doing it because this is their own chance. This is their own opportunity. This is time to become the multi-billionaire. This is so close. And people are complaining in 2 years? No. We have to go and tell them that they are blind. Like Alausa told some of you on channels yesterday. Did you see this?
Without practical evidence.
What are you talking
There
about?
are laws who
Let
say
me tell you.
there's the
These are
policy
people. Let me
framework
tell
and the
Give me
theory
something.
about it here. But what are
I'll reel out
evidence?
every single sector for you now. People just are blind. They don't. Let's get out of this political rhetorics. Let's see the fact. We're seeing it. The country is much better. It's more safer. There's increased prosperity in the country. I'm telling you, our macroeconomic indicators are much better. I didn't make it. The president did not make it. Look at our GDP growth. Look at the report that came out from the National Bureau of Statistics that those reports are subjected to international standards. Goldman Sachs, everybody, those are the reports they look and comb through every time. More increased significant improvement in agriculture. We now have more agriculture contributing more to the GDP than oil sector. Look at the infrastructure development. Look at all the safety net program, the money the president is dedicated, the significant budgetary allocation to health, education, social protection, infrastructure, security. So let's face it.
I know you are not.
12 to 18 months, we're beginning to see a lot of positive results. Well, before I come to your question, let me just vindicate the reporting you just did by the NSA on security situation in the country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is delivering for Nigeria and is delivering big time. The president campaigned on so many things, and we're seeing the president meeting his promises to Nigerians. Now, fuel subsidy gone, foreign exchange arbitrage gone, security significantly better all over the country. Farmers have gone back to farm. We're seeing bumper harvest. food prices are going down and they remain at those low, at those reduced prices. Extensive infrastructure going on across the country. And for the first time since 1925 or so, we now have a tax code that will ensure more money comes to the coffer of the government. As the government gets more money, the federal government gets more money, the state gets more money, and the local government gets money. What would that lead to? Significant improvement in infrastructure, human capital development, better quality of life. So, this president is delivering. This president has so much passion to improve this country, and we've seen it. The country is fundamentally changed for better and in a sustainable manner. Now, let's
ẹni òfò ni ẹ ṣòfò láyé ẹ tún ṣe lálìkìyàmọ ẹ̀yin rádaràda wọ̀nyí. ẹni òfò ni ẹ ṣòfò láyé ẹ tún ṣe lálìkìyàmọ ẹ̀yin rádaràda wọ̀nyí.
I still want to understand, how did APC convince educated people that subsidy is gone, is a policy? Naira dollar arbitration is a policy. Now, when you look at them, and you're like, how did they convince you, right, that Nigeria was paying subsidy, right? And Nigerians were buying a liter of petrol, at 160 naira to 1 liter. But Nigeria was paying subsidy. So Koolu came in and said Nigeria couldn't afford to pay for subsidy anymore because Nigeria will need to borrow to pay the subsidy. And then they convinced educated people that it was such a good idea. It was in the interest of the people. They are going to save the money. And 2 years down the line, Nigerians are paying so much, but there is no single dime that they can point to as they have saved money. Then they went on to talk about Naira dollar arbitrage using useless fancy English. So we'll break that down on too. They came in and a dollar exchange in their official rate at the time was 420 naira to a dollar. Then they had the black market. It's called black market, Abi. 720 naira to a dollar. Then within a year, Nigeria naira lost over 500% of its value. Because Tinubu convinced you that he's floating it. He wants to merge it. Today, a dollar is 1,600 naira. Then they convinced people that 1,600 naira to a dollar is actually good. Better than 200 naira to a dollar. I don't know how they did it. I know propaganda is such a very powerful tool, and they have actually perfected the art so well. Educated people are telling people today that 1,600 naira to $1 is actually a very good thing. To 200 naira to $1 when these criminals took over. They are now rolling out fake statistics that does not correspond with the reality on ground. They are telling the people that they must be blind. It's because they are blind. People can see it. Infrastructure everywhere. Infrastructure everywhere. Where is everywhere? Everywhere is nowhere. When you are trying to be specific, right? Everywhere is like nowhere. Anywhere. I say, what is anywhere? What is everywhere? Which infrastructure? Power? How is that? Security. They are telling people that are paying ransoms to terrorists that security has improved. And in fact, they have started rehabilitating people affected by terrorism. But they can't say, here, we've done this. Agriculture has improved. Leno Alausa. And then the next day they will tell you, they are giving them student loan. Now, that's not just the only person. There is another one. Dada Nebulaba. He was also on channels with Sheung this evening. The first question was the one that caught my own attention among many other things. They asked him, Bulaba, Koolu said if he failed to give them electricity in 4 years, that they should not give him power again. Bulaba said, no, that's not what he said. Here is one of them. In the days of garbage, Iseu, garbage Shehu, or Femi Oponu Adeshino, or this other guy, Kojo Yimbo, Kojo Afin, as we kind of call them, forgot his name, the one that worked for channels and got removed by Onofunuga later. Anyway, here is a Bulaba, right? Doing his best to tell everyone that we heard when Koolu said, if I don't give you electricity for years, don't vote for me again. Sort of.
Nigerians have access to reliable electricity. And it's on tape that the president has promised that if we do not, after 4 years, if we do not provide you constant electricity, do not vote for us. Yeah. And those who are rational, we know that with the way our electricity is today, there is no way you can guarantee constant electricity. Could Nigerians say, okay, that is the premise upon which President Bola Tinubu should not come back?
No, what he said was a statement of intent that is backed up by a commitment to make that happen. When you make
so now it's looking like that premise is a dash promise.
I'm coming now. When you make such a commitment, the next thing is you put it to work, which is what he has been doing. You have been covering, Mr. Sheun, the intricacy and the problem in that industry with the Gencos complaining about not being funded, with the banks even wanting to take over their asset because they collected loan they are not able to pay, with customer. You know the circumstances. This power issue, President Obasanjo and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, do you know how many $1 billion they sunk into that thing? By the time they say Jack Robinson, nothing is there, nothing at all. In this case, you can see generation, you can see.
But the president said that he has what it takes to fix it.
So that's what I'm saying. That we are laying the foundation, and it's obvious.
But it can't happen in 4 years.
So let me ask you one question.
So if you told us, Mr. Buala, yes, are you saying that we should not be able to trust president for whatever he has said?
The president has demonstrated sufficient commitment in the way he has governed Nigeria so far that he has elicited the trust of majority of Nigerians.
And
Nuisance Lele.
Danny Bulaba, the former Atif Kusa spokesman, let me make a quick correction because that na confidently repeat some of the nonsense that paid mouth like that spew in public with their intending deflection from the real thing. Number one, Tinubu is not doing anything about your power. Okay? But there is a chance that, they will take Tinubu to this newly completed power plant by Adeleke, Davido's dad. Just like they went to go and cut tape of Dangote refinery for about 4 or 5 times, including Koolu. Right? So they may do that. There is nothing that Tinubu and his gang are doing about your power. There is no power project of this Tinubu's regime going on anywhere that they can tell you. Then I say, oh, he just started a power project, this, or is, you know what I mean? They will tell you they are carrying out the same maintenance. However, it is true. They are owning the gencos, the companies that generate electricity, simply because, you know, they take some subsidy from government and it's not being paid. And according to them, it's over 4 trillion naira. Banks are, you know, running after them and all of that stuff. So it's making it difficult for them to expand because they are in debt. So anybody telling you that Tinubu is doing something, no. They went to go and see Tinubu a few days ago. I think I still have that clip. They went to go and see Tinubu a few days ago to beg him to see if he could probably pay them part of the 4 trillion naira they hold. Do you understand? And so there is no power project anywhere. Of course, trust them. Davido's power plant, sorry, Davido's father's power plant needs adequate supply of crude to generate the electricity for you. But the issue is not even just that as well. I think they are talking about evacuation and all of that. They said among other, among your power sort of generation spots in the country, for instance, like Kainji or so, right, which is hydro. So Kainji has a capacity of whether Kainji or Shiruru, either of the two, I'm not sure, but either of the two. So they said it has a capacity to generate at least, you know, 740 something or so megawatts of electricity. But the only evacuatable, you know, megawatt is just like half of that. So which means almost half is wasting away. Whatever that is the problem, partly crude oil supply is also part of the problem. So if Davido's that plants finally come upstream in full, that is 1,250 megawatt of electricity built by a private company. Just like you have your own other energy provider in Abia, you know, something like that. But there's nothing that Tinubu is building anywhere, nothing. But they will tell you that, you know, he's walking around it and all of that. So that is one. Obasanjo did not spend $16 billion on power. There was no $16 billion spent on power. It is still this level of deflection, misinformation that has lasted very long. Evidence is online. The document of all the power plants that Obasanjo built. Obasanjo started 11 power plants simultaneously across the country. Some of these power plants are part of what is giving you electricity in Nigeria today. And that is also a fact. You see, every time they want to take their slander at, you know, the Obankparo himself, right? He's always there. And I don't think that will ever change. But for the sake of those of you who are expected to be enlightened, okay, even if you lose any argument, right, don't push your argument to Obasanjo spent $16 billion on power. I've actually heard Showore said that too. Unfortunately, Obasanjo did not spend 16 billion on power. In fact, according to available information, yes, $16 billion was to build 11 power plants across Nigeria, but it was not to be provided by government. Do you understand? So it was not like government will have to provide that. But from the part of them, like, you know, making the right of way this or that, like they are doing new road and all that, Obasanjo's government spent on, which is the evidence that is available, Obasanjo's government is said to have spent over $4 billion out of their own part of the funding. There's no $16 billion anywhere, and nobody should say there's no power. Obasanjo spent 16 billion, there is no power. That is absolute nonsense. It is not true. I didn't hear that part before I came on. I would have put the list. Oh, you can do it. I'll do it when I put another video on right now, okay? And you can possibly tell me I'm lying, okay? So yeah, I've heard that many times. I've had personal conversation with people, and every small thing they will just drop it. Look at that Obasanjo said he's talking. He and Atiku, they spend 16 billion on power, and there is no power. Political. It is not true. And you should be educated enough to look it up as you are watching me right now. Go on and look it. You don't even need to believe me. Just grab your phone and check it right now. You know? But that would be Ghani Bulaba's reason why if Tinubu failed to give you power, they will tell you in 2027. Aboshebi Obasanjo just spent 16 billion on power, and there's darkness. A society that is intentionally being misled, misinformed, intentionally, and people are actually like following them too. Obankparo is everything, okay? But he's not somebody that spent 16 billion and it disappeared. 11 power plants. And no thanks to Yaradua, who stopped it, probing it. And that's what actually gives you the real setback. The rest is history today. So they finally sold some of them, or probably they sold all of them at the end of the day. But now let's get to the another one. The North is angry and they want to get rid of Tinubu. Here is what Ghani Bulaba had to say. This North coming together. He said, no, they are coming together just for power. They don't love Nigeria. So do you? Do you love Nigeria?
The issue about the northern region has been overblown. You see, because the governors that every day come out to speak well of the president are from the north. The meeting of yesterday, 2 days ago, was in the north.
The governors and the ordinary people on the street, they are two different things. So those who determine who governs them are the ones who are complaining.
Now, if I ask you, and very bluntly, to tell me a singular ordinary citizen in the north or group of citizens in the north who say there is a growing agitation against President Bola Tinubu, you will not find one, even if you start from here to Antarctica.
So every 200 million Nigerians are okay with whatever.
No, we'll come to 200 million. No, we'll come to 200 million. Let's start from the north. So what you are hearing are a set of people in the north who believe it is their birthright to be in government. Some of them were in the past government for 8 years. After a new government has come, they want to be in the center of attention in the next government. And this government believes in equal distribution of opportunities to those who have not had the privilege. They are angry and they form a group. They say they want to remove him. They are now scattered like sheep without shepherd in the wilderness. If I'm one of them who say, I made the president, I'll remove him. Yesterday also, he was suspended for 40 years. He will resume politics when he's getting to 90-something years. They are confused. Completely confused.
If you see the amount of the aggregation and the coming together of the opposition voices against this government, we've not seen it in the past years in Nigeria's politics. Not even in the merger of the APC.
There is no merger. Let me tell you something, Mr. Sheon, and I will be honest with Nigerians. This coalition issue you're hearing is overblown. There is no coalition anywhere. Do you know why? Those who left the PDP, who are the proponent of this coalition, is just a handful of people that left. The governors of People's Democratic Party have not followed them. The National Working Committee have not followed them. The national executives have not followed them. Where is the coalition? They are even toasting to get somebody to come around on the platform of PDP. Where is the coalition? This coalition, you had not more than 13 people. But Nigeria is a nation that celebrates new information.
But that's not true.
Okay,
the people that we saw there, and I can mention over 20 for you, just by mere looking at the
Not
pictures.
spectators.
No,
I'm talking of the anchored people, people with political agenda.
And you talk about Atiku Abubakar, Rotimi Amechi,
2,
Nasiru El
3,
Rufai, David Mark,
4,
Chief John Oyebu,
5.
You saw Dele Mamadou,
6.
you saw Senator Ben Obi.
So you are now
you saw,
gradually going away from stakeholders to citizens.
No, look at them. That's Malami over there in the picture.
So this is, let me tell you something.
They are listening of Nigerians, eminent Nigerians, former governors.
You just said the population of Nigeria is 2 million, 200 million.
Over 200 million.
So these people you call the coalition, let's be honest with Nigerians. In the whole of that room, are they up to 300? They are not.
When you're forming a party, do you bring every member of the party into the room?
They don't even have a party. This ADC you're hearing about, what they did is called forceful takeover, hostile takeover. In company law, you did that. You know the consequence of a hostile takeover. A lot of people don't know. Their chairman, who they, gave whatever they gave, and he handed the party to them, even was saying that our administration promised him 3 ministerial slots and some money.
And that's the accusation against your government, that your government go after opposition voices, go after, he was claiming that he was being offered 3 different ministerial positions.
Let me tell you, I did criminology, where you study the mind, the mental element of people who have the propensity to commit crime. And there is a fact pattern you judge from the way somebody talks to derive or to deduce the inference of truth. Anybody who has such a strong allegation and wants to make an optics out of it will mention the name of the public officials and will mention the circumstances that they did that. If they are going to charge you in court, then you have to quote the offense and the particulars of the offense. He says senior public officials. Who are they? Do you think President Bola Tinubu in this government, apart from President Bola Tinubu, nobody in this government can give ministerial position to anybody? And if President Bola Tinubu will give you or promise you ministerial position, he will speak to you directly. Of course, the president has spoken to the people that are high up. He has spoken to the people that are low. You will never believe president will see so person. That's his idea and that's his politics. If he sees value in you, he will look for you. Did this man meet president? Let him mention even the public official. But of course, in politics, it is only in politics people trafficate right and turn left. In the sense that he will say what he wants to say in order to achieve 2 things. One, for the individuals he's doing business with to think that he has some integrity and value. That's the reason why he didn't cave in. And then on the other side, to give the world the impression that he's such a special person that this government, imagine, this government will go to him and say, we'll give you 3 ministers. Don't give them platform to run. How many of them? These are nomadic politicians, internally displaced persons.
And those they are saying already that they're sending you guys packing in 2027. But the real issue here, the real issue here, Mr. Buala. The World Bank.
Did you hear that laugh?
Send you packing. Send you packing. Anyway, that's a Dani Bulaba. So he may be right. Those who are coming together to get rid of his own now boss, who is paying for his voice, his appearance, and all of that. So he sees himself as being part of the people, sitting by the table. And if you are not, you have no idea. You see what you are up against, according to Bulaba. So I went on to go and do my sniffing around, and I want to share that with you. So in his statement where he said, Tifku and Obasanjo, they spent $16 billion and there's nothing to show for it. So I've got something that I'll show you on the screen, okay? So apart from the fact that that statement is not true, and I could use the opportunity to educate 1 or 2 persons, right? Now, so here, Obasanjo started, this was even like in 2004 rather, when Oban Paro was like a year into his second term, 2004. And
I want to pick up the power plant that or power project is started. Just they called it NIPP. That was to cost $16 billion. So at the end of the day, 11 of them were started before Obasanjo left office. Yaradua came in and stopped the project, which most of them are like near completion. Then Yaradua died. So Jonathan lifted ban on whatever Yaradua did at the time, and they completed the project. The contractors that started them are pretty much like the partners. They are not building to live it. They are building to operate. So you have power plants like, so out of 11, 7 was finally completed, right? And by their supposed partners, I would say. So you have Olaoji power plant in Abia State. It's a 960 megawatt power plant, and it is a combined cycle gas turbine. So, but that one, the status says it's like one of the ones uncompleted or like not operational. Then you have the Calabar power plant. That one is 563 megawatts of, or megawatt plant. He said it is operational, but at reduced capacity. That's another one that's among those out of the 11. So, Egbema power plant, this one is in Owerri, Imo State. It is listed as incomplete with ongoing EFCC investigation. That's the third one. You have the Bahrain power plant, which is located in Bayelsa State. It is 225 megawatts of this, right? You have a Geregu, located in Kogi State, 434 megawatt, it said, which was like completed in 2012, became operational, and is contributing to your national grid right now. You have a Hovbo power plant. It is right here in Benin, Edo State. It is a 450 megawatt electricity plant. Obasanjo built it. It's operational, they say, but due to gas constraints, it is underutilized. Olorun Shogo power plant, phase 1 and 2. That is in Papalanto, Ogun State. So it is a 675 megawatt electricity combined cycle gas turbine. So the contractors, right? So SEPCO 3 and all of them. So what is the status? Status of that? It is operational, currently linked to your national grid. Omoku power plant is in River State, 225 megawatt gas fired. It is operational as well, but they say it has been taken over by AMCON in 2018 due to contractors, delay. Omotosho power plant phase 1 and 2 is near Ore in Ondo State. It is a 500 megawatt gas turbine as well. It is operational fully, contributing to the Nigerian electricity grid right now. Sapele power plant is in Delta State. So that one is 450 megawatts as we speak. And it is also operational. Okay. But again, it's got its own corruption. Those who are handling that, okay. Corruption case. That Zungeru hydropower plant is in Niger State. Right? So as of 2024, we don't know tomorrow. It is operational. It is a 700 megawatt hydropower. You see, all of these are what Obasanjo sort of like put together. And rather than allow competent people to succeed him, those who really wanted to, not rogues, he ended up having to choose a sickly Yaradua, right? And the rest is history today. Okay? Well, let Bulaba finish what is probably dishing out on Sheung Okimbaloye's program again before we go to the next one. Here.
While also touching on the 2027 political landscape. Thank you so much, Mr. Bwala, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
There are a lot of people who perhaps will be listening to the governor of Kaduna State and the NS, and a lot of the people who spoke in that room yesterday in Kaduna, and be wondering, maybe they are not feeling whatever they are saying, and those who are directly bearing the brunt of some of the challenges the country is facing. What do you tell them?
Actually, all of the reports that were given by the key stakeholders at the meeting, from the NSA to the governor and other key stakeholders, are accurate, correct, and true representation of the situation. And just like the way you always hear people talk about, depending on whose side of the cup you choose to believe, whether it's half full or half empty. But in this case, it is obviously half full. I was talking to a farmer from my village. He was complaining because he started farm. He thought that he saved enough, farm to make profit, because as of last year, some of the farm crops were about 100,000. He said, no, it's less than 35,000. So, but I told him, I said, but it's a positive in the sense that the prices of items are going down. Those ones were not in Kaduna. These are farmers, and Nigerians are in the farming platforms. You can run that across all platforms from the reports coming. I'm sure that everybody will attest to the fact that the president has successfully glided the ship to a path where we are now facing recovery. And the recovery is coming fast. Whether you look at the report of the IMF that upgraded our economic growth because of the performance, of course, of the indices of the economy, or whether you look at it from the security point of view, where we do not have as much of unknown gunmen in the southeast. The case in Benue and in Plateau State, you have seen the improvement very strongly. The case of kidnapping and then demanding for ransom is almost behind our back completely. People in Abuja go about their normal businesses in the country. People who are in the energy sector, you see a gradual transition from foreign investment in Nigeria into domestic people, Nigerian people taking charge of the affairs of the Nigerian economy, thereby boosting, of course, our revenue, one, and then strengthening the economy because there is economic activities in the country, and then do I now say foreign exchange that would have ordinarily gone abroad if the foreign companies in Nigeria operating now will be circulating in the economy. So and then if you look at it from the point of view of education, whichever strata of our national life that you look at, you can conveniently and boldly say that this administration has successfully turned the tide and we are now approaching full recovery.
Why does it look and seem like the average person is not feeling whatever you say are those advantages and the benefits just yet?
Yes, because that comment usually is from the prism of the opposition. For example, if I ask you the 300,000 Nigerians who are from indigent families who have benefited from the NEL fund funding, are they not average Nigerians? The farmers who all over the country now can see the reduction of the consumers who can see the reduction of the cost of food items, are they not the ordinary Nigerians? The farmers who have benefited largely from the benefits that have come to them by the policies of this government, are they not the ordinary Nigerians? So sometimes when people talk about the ordinary Nigerian is suffering, I wonder whether they are talking to spirits. Because the individuals we are talking about who are impacted positively by this the development are the ordinary Nigerians. But of course, if you are looking at Nigeria from the lenses of the opposition who are on the wild goose chase, you can never see a Nigeria working.
You heard what Governor of Kaduna State said there, that there shouldn't be any governor that would challenge President Tinubu because of the monies that states are now benefiting more.
Right.
And those who will, while also touching on the 2027.
So that's Nibulaba. Your economy has turned the corner. That must be a very fancy word in their ass or rock. Fancy word. Oh, the economy has turned the corner. Which corner? Oh, it has taken a bend. A bend. Yeah. I don't think we should expect anything, different from Bulaba. Not really. They should just be on record. That guy and everything is said there was paid for, and he is always very much available for the highest bidder. Always available, you know, and he is not alone. There's another guy called Jibrin. I don't know if you remember him. Jibrin is the guy who exposed the budget padding in Nigeria under Bukwari. And this was in 2020 or 21 or thereabouts. Jibrin. He got suspended. He lost so much political leverage and all that at the time. Then he found his way back to the warm embrace of Gandola, the Babanriga mobile banking CEO of Kano, who later got him kind of like readmitted. So he was seen yesterday, walking out of the As Oroka Villa. And this is what he had to say after meeting Koolu. They are doing a lot. Yeah. You bring.
Of course, the villa is the residence of the president of the Federal Republic. Of course, he's our president, and everybody knows my relationship with Mr. President, and of course, the long-term friendship that the president has also enjoyed with the national leader of NNPP, Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. So I do not think it's anything surprising to see me walking here to see the president, to greet him, check on him, and also discuss some national issues that I believe is in the interest of the people of this country. I do not think it is time for that conversation, but everything it's open and everything it's a possibility. The most important thing is stability of the country, is unity of the country, and I believe that when we get to the bridge, we'll cross it.
Yes. You here, you now begin to wonder, the peacemaking mission, what actually is that when you consider the comments by the principal?
Both of them are very experienced politicians. The president is a first-class politician. Of course, the national leader of the NNPP is also a thoroughbred politician. And I believe that both of them are committed to the peace, unity, and prosperity of Nigeria. So, irrespective of the comments that were made, I do not think that it should be a source of concern that I'm seeing in the villa during this period.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
So if you can't beat them, you join them. Is a textbook definition of that. His relationship with Gandola did not last long. They had to be rescued politically by Kwakwansop. Now, Kwakwansop had been rumored severally. We've had rumors of him crossing over to join Tinubu, but something didn't go well, and it decided the negotiation has been cancelled or extended or postponed indefinitely. That Kwakwansop had to grab microphone 3 days ago or thereabouts to call out a Koolu, and he categorically said Koolu had abandoned the north for the south. And here is Tinubu's six cardinal campaign strategy. Let me give you that. You know, they said that they are going to, construct or renovate Sokoto to Badagry, 1,500 kilometers. In the history of Nigeria, there is nothing like that before. So that one is for the people of the north, the people of the middle belt, partly the people of the south, to be grateful for. Lagos Calabar is for the Yorubas and the Southerners. Lagos Calabar Coastal Road, 700 kilometers. Do you want Tinubu to finish your 750 kilometers Lagos Calabar? Yeah. Oh yeah. Go and vote. Do you want Tinubu to complete 1,500 kilometers Sokoto Badagry? Yeah. Oh yeah. Go and vote. The Igbos are now being told that Tinubu is about to borrow $3 billion to come and rehabilitate. Okay, I don't even know what to use because both words sounds like, exotic or something. I'm using some because they have single gauge where you don't get to see two trains pass themselves. No, single gauge means when the train take Yansh, enter Owerri, now mouth it go take leave Owerri. And if you have to use that same Yansh, enter Enugu like that. So if you go like this now, you will have to reverse back like that. So that is what Koolu want to collect 3 billion. And they said that the track they want to come and renovate is just going to be 23% of it is in the part of the eastern Nigeria today. The remaining 77% of that track, this single gauge up to Kaduna, Kano, Sokoto, all those places. But they have sent their vuvuzelas out to go and tell people that if Tinubu want to collect 3 billion for the Igbos, so vote for him. The money, they never, I don't know if they have seen people want to borrow them. Or if I get to hear that they've borrowed them, the money, I will tell you. Or maybe it is part of the 21 billion that Tinubu just got approval for, $22 billion. You add the euros and others, it's actually more than 22 billion. $21 billion, 2.2 billion euros, 780 billion naira, which is for bond, 63 million euro, which is a grant. And I heard there is another $2 billion on the side coming from the Afrexim Bank. Long story short, it is just, bureaucracy that you've got. Bureaucracy, loan-to-crazy, sort of. There is no money come and build any rail track in Igbo land, but they are already in town. They are already telling everybody to, to begin to salivate. As for you, the people of Niger Delta, they say Tinubu is about to open school, marine school. Now they go learn how to swim. All of this, so you go see the list when the release is out. And that is why Koolu says, I will beat them silly. Look at him.
We'll beat them silly. We'll beat them silly.
See that confidence? We'll beat them silly. Yeah. Koolu. But David Mark is presented as a general. David Mark from Benue. It's crazy, yeah? David Mark's daughter is APC, I think, or is it PDP? PDP. Okay. And she's a member of either the National Assembly or Abina States. Not sure. I'm just saying, but David Mark is now leading the coalition, okay, as their first and interim chairman. They are putting screws together. They're like, you know, putting everything together. Right now, they've actually appointed where Obi, according to people, they said a very strong ally of Peter Obi as their organizing secretary. And David Mark himself, who released a statement yesterday, had this to say. Now, this is going to be one of the men that are going to get rid of Tinubu. If they succeed, well, they will be your new sheriffs in town, you will say, right? And if they fail, well, maybe that will be their end as well, politically. However it's going to play out, begin to notice their tone, their language, the tone of their language and others. Start paying attention. This is their interim chairman.
So that under our leadership, we shall be committed to full democratic practices and principles that abhors imposition and special privileges. Internal democracy, transparency, and accountability will be our mantra. There will be no imposition of any kind there. Everybody in this party is equal. You have the same rights like me, the chairman. I don't have any more rights. I'm just one of you who has been chosen to manage and lead you. So any one of you here can become the leader of ADC. That is the difference between ADC and other political parties in this country. We will guarantee collective leadership at all levels. We will build a technically competent bureaucracy for the party and ensure a structured financing. All members will truly own the party. Every one of us here has equal rights in this party. And I want all of you to note that. We will be fair and just to all party members. We promise to be totally transparent. ADC will have zero tolerance for anti-party and any form of indiscipline.
The general has spoken.
You are either in ADC or you are not in ADC. There is no midway in this business. And those who are not with us, we will not carry them along. We shall advance our grassroots leadership structures to reflect modern realities. From the polling units upwards, up to the national level, every organ will be re-energized. We will open the gates for the next generation. Our policies, nominations, and leadership roles will reflect meaningful inclusion of youths and women, and not just tokenism. So that under our leadership, we shall be committed to full.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt.
I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Anyway, it is to let everybody know that we're going to be different. There are things that we are not going to condone, and we want everybody to know that it is either you are with us or you are not with us. There is no in between. There is no middle ground and all that. Mark is their interim chairman. So their interim spokesperson, Bolaji Abdullahi, interim chairman, they are both from PDP, though. Okay, Bolaji Abdullahi went to APC. I don't know where he is where he's coming from currently, but he's their spokesperson. And according to him, Tinubu is living he's living in an alternative sort of like a universe. Sorry about that, flicking and all that, okay? So that Koolu is living in an alternative universe, that he should leave the villa. Go outside and check on people and see what people are passing through. Every politician says that. You know something, right? It's funny. Oh. Maybe it's not even funny. You know? And that is, this Bolaji Abdullahi I'm about to share with you now, if their permutation works and they chase Tinubu away, so they now form government, and he is now going to be the Bulaba, the Ani, or Onofunuga, or Akuri Nigalailai, whoever, to these guys. If you now say, hey, the president should come outside and see what people are facing, this same guy will go on TV and tell you, you know that the president is a very busy. So it is just like, man, how do you do same thing again and again and expect a different result? Eh? That's depressing. Now here, still firing Koolu.
The opposition, coalition, and ADC, the President Bola Tinubu's administration. Well, my next guest tonight on the program is the spokesperson of the opposition coalition. He's Bolaji Abdullahi, and it's African Democratic Congress spokesperson and the wider opposition coalition. As we unpack the big questions shaping the political conversation today in the country, from the government's performance so far, issues of the economy, and to the persistent groaning of an average person in the parity of the naira to the dollar, 1,500 and above, security challenges to the internal reorganization of the ADC. Let's speak with Mr. Bolaji Abdullahi, who is live for us in our studio here. Thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
You heard what the spokesperson to the president said. It does look like everything is perfect in the country.
I had him. I had him. And I feel sorry for President Tinubu. Because if this is the kind of narrative that he gets to hear all the time, then it's natural that it's obvious that he lives in a bubble. And in the echo chambers of what they are telling themselves. The gentleman who just left here now was painting a picture of El Dorado, of a country. At a point I began to ask myself, maybe I'm in a kind of suspended animation. I'm no longer in Nigeria. I mean, he was talking about insecurity being degraded. There are 6 law students that are still missing. Imagine the parents of these children who are just going to school, abducted, and kidnappers have the nerve to actually be demanding 120 million to free these children. These children are still in captivity up till I speak. And someone sits here and tells us that insecurity is being degraded. I actually think that President Tinubu needs to leave the villa and go on the streets and talk to people and stop listening to this kind of narrative and stop listening to state governors who are just saying what they think they need to say to endear themselves to power rather than tell him the true feelings of the people.
So, in all what has been said, and the performance of this government, they said, look, they've delivered on this, they've delivered on that, but you in the opposition, they say you see the cup half empty, but they are seeing it as half full. We had over the 2-year mark of this government. How do you see it? Half empty or half full?
The problem is not even whether it's half empty or half full. The problem is, what does it cup contain? What does the cup contain? Because when you are looking at the parameters, the analogy of half full, half empty, you are saying, oh, they are making efforts. No doubt.
Are they making effort?
Look, a man that will break into somebody's house to steal his things, an armed robber, will make effort. Everybody will make effort. The Yahoo boys doing things, they make effort. So the point I'm making is that it's not about the effort. It's about the consequences of your action. Whatever you think you are doing, how does it affect a citizen whose reason for voting for you presumably is to improve the quality of his life or to improve the quality of our life? So, do you know how many businesses have collapsed, even as we speak, by people who they have not done anything wrong?
So, Malam Abdullahi, I'm moved to ask you, and I put Nigeria.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Yeah, it is successful again. A town hall different from Bulaba.
So Bolaji Abdullahi was just reminding us that it is not how the cup or the content of the cup appears, whether half full, half empty. It is the content that you should check. What kind of shege are they dishing out to you? Would you say Nigeria hasn't changed under Tinubu? Nigeria has changed. A lot has changed. A lot has changed. So don't, because it won't be factual. If anybody says, "Oh, ma, nothing has changed since this Tinubu came to power," are you being serious? A lot has changed. A lot of you have now, officially admitted into the lifestyle of austerity. This time, nobody needed to tell you. Things turn upside down. For those who survived, that means those of you watching right now survived. But there are those who didn't. So it is the content of what they are dishing to you, whether not half empty or half full. You get what I mean? Now the content of the shege called renewed shege. You get what I mean now? Renewed shege. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Kind of. Then of course, Peter Obi. Some said it's actually might be part of their strategy. I don't know if there is a strategy. Okay. And in Koolu's voice, I don't want to sit here and release all my strategy. I'm coming back. I won't drink tea.
I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back. But that's part of what I do.
That's part of what I have just to say. So some believe that since Tinubu and his gang are actually desperate to know what the plans of their coalition will be. Would they be able to convince Atiku to be a statesman? And Obi and Amechi will slug it out? Or would they just give it to Obi and all that so that they can prepare? Because Tinubu and his gang needs to prepare for who is going to be that candidate, and they must be able to preempt it. Do you get what I mean now? Like say, oh, yes, sir, Obi is going to be their candidate. Oh, it's going to be Obi Abi. Now let us begin the process of dismantling anything Obi right now. Let's concentrate on him. So right now, Tinubu's sewage dwellers, right? They are fighting every fight. As they are doing tribalism here, they are fighting the North. The same North, though. They are calling them very, very, they are calling them betrayers. They're very, very ungrateful. Ashiwaju stood by the Bokwari. Now, Bokwari is dead anyway, so nobody can say Bokwari will be responsible for Tinubu's decimation. So on social media, the Ronukus, they are attacking the Igbos. And they are waiting for a day they will declare war so that they can go and fight the Igbos and chase them out of Yoruba land. On one hand. On the other hand, they are giving money to some of the, Koolu, all this, those ones who are the Ronukus of Igbo land, you know them. To go and help them tell the Igbos that Tinubu loves them so much. The Alausa and the Fulanis are collecting from their hands. Baba, have you seen how the Ronukus are always so happy when they see Shagia Adamu? Shagia Adamu say, Wallahi Tallahi, Ashiwaju is my candidate for 2027. I am from Nasarawa. You go see one Ronuku. He will just say, thank you, Jari Adamu. God bless you, Adamu. God bless you for... You are not a betrayer like others. People that, Ashiwaju that did everything to make Boko Haram this. Look at what the North are now doing. We look at all of them now. So if they see you from Northern Nigeria and you say something about Tinubu, like, Ashiwaju goes, so Ashiwaju 2027, victory, you will see Ronukus, they will begin to befriend you. Because, Baba, it can't be like saying only them go have to actually arrange to bring Tinubu back. And that seems to be a very tough one. So on the one hand, they would be telling themselves, Ashiwaju don't get this and that in Northern Nigeria. It's got this, it's got all the governors, 23 governors. How you want to... But they are still worried that the North, they said the Northerners are betrayers. They betrayed Yorubas. Just so you know, Shashe, you get, it's not just yourself that the Ronukus are currently trying to start war with, including the Northerners. So yeah, maybe in that regard, they have decided to keep putting up different red flags, flags here, flags there. So Tinubu and his guys, they can be boxing like shadow boxing. Just saying. So they asked Bolaji Abdullahi, where is Obi? When is he going to join you? His answer.
The opposition, coalition, and ADC spokesperson. Thanks so much indeed. Your comment about Peter Obi is generating controversy within the PDP, and they thought that was very uncomplimentary what he said about Peter Obi and the possibility of Peter Obi going to the ADC, the PDP, and the fact that this is an Atiku coalition, and the fact that Peter Obi is already looking out for options, and the PDP is already cutting in. Doesn't that show that there is some problem within the ADC already? And you have not even started.
There's no problem within the ADC. Peter Obi has been part of the coalition from day one. Peter Obi has attended almost every meeting of the coalition. The reason Peter Obi has not come into the ADC as a card-carrying member was because he asked for leave to allow him to complete the election that his people were involved in his Labour Party. The same thing applied to Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, and they were allowed by the leadership to complete the election processes that they started in their respective parties before they come into the ADC. And that is what I know. As I speak,
Peter Obi is not a member of the ADC for now.
He's a member of the coalition.
But not a member of the ADC.
He's not a card-carrying member of the ADC yet, because he was given permission by the leadership to complete the election process that he started in the Legacy Party. He specifically asked for it, and the same way Malam Nasiru El-Rufai asked for it, and they were allowed to.
Why does it look like a lot of people have already summed up the answer even from the beginning? They say, look, all of these is for Atiku to get a ticket, and it's an Atiku coalition. And the reason perhaps people are thinking that Peter Obi is already being courted in the PDP.
I mean, I can understand PDP cutting anybody that looks like can give them a lifeline. I mean, I can understand that. But what I know for a fact is that Peter Obi is in the coalition. I also know for a fact that this is not an Atiku coalition. What is at stake goes beyond. Like I said repeatedly, the ADC is not built around anybody's individual ambition. What is at stake is much bigger than every individual. And look, I'm 56. Who says I don't want to be president? Who says I don't want to be president? So we are doing this because we want to...
Because already you have a Kachiku problem. You are having an Atiku reputation problem. You are having...
What do you mean by Atiku reputation?
Because they think that Atiku, that is a coalition. All of you are working to the answer.
No, that's not true. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's not, you can...
No, I'm saying it to you as a journalist.
No, yeah, I understand.
Although you know you've retired.
I can tell you.
You're a retired journalist. But I'm reporting to you to tell you that it's a feeling, and the perception out there is that this is all about... This is an orchestration.
No, do you recollect that even from the start, even before we unveiled the coalition, they were coming out to say Atiku coalition. Atiku coalition. It was deliberately engineered to brand it an Atiku coalition.
Is it not?
It is absolutely not an Atiku coalition. And we'll continue to maintain, and people will see.
Yeah.
You know, so...
Malam Abdullah, we're totally out of time. In 20 seconds, if you may, why should Nigerians believe it?
It's all right. So Peter Obi is not officially part of the ADC, but he is a part of the coalition. So we just have to wait and see how that finally plays out, right? In Rivers State, it is believed that Foolbara should normally return in September. Now, there is a problem. The appointment of a sole administrator by Tinubu is illegal, but they've allowed it to fly. So the sole administrator has appointed, first he sacked everyone appointed by Fubara, and then appointed replacements, including local government administrators. Against the Supreme Court ruling, Tinubu released the local government allocation to this guy. He is the guy who wanted to spend their 20 billion on CCTV in Port Harcourt in their 2025 budget. This guy wrote a budget that got approved by the National Assembly because they just have to do it, right? Now, the guy dissolved local government administration in the states, appointed sole administrators. And as we speak, the same guy dissolved the State Electoral Commission, appointed replacements. One of the reasons why Fubara ran into trouble was because he bypassed the status of assembly to go on and inaugurate or constitute and inaugurate the state SIEC, so to say. And they said that was one of his sins. So right now, the sole administrator, Ibas, has appointed SIEC chairman, SIEC board and everything, and he has picked a date for local government election. And they want to do this probably 3 weeks before Fubara returns. Something that, of course, it is as with the wiki plotted it. But a group has come out to say, no, we won't let this happen and blah, 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 blah. Not that they are significant or matters in the scheme of things, but at least they are openly rejecting this.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests. May I please stand on the existing protocols. My name is Comrade Imeabe Savior Oscar. I represent South South Youth Initiative. I also represent Coalition of River State Youth Bodies. Before I proceed, may I please call on the attention of the Vice Chairman. Good afternoon, sir. I want to sincerely ask few questions. And these questions are also questions that is so much in the society in River State now. There is a question, sir. And the first question is, how will an undemocratic process give birth to a democratic process? That's the first question, sir. Secondly, sir, it is obvious that as we speak, the emergency rule in River State may as well be a lingering situation or lingering challenge to the success of the forthcoming local government election. May I also ask, what is the possibility that River State resources will not be abused after the conduct of this election because litigation, a lot of persons are preparing for litigation just after the election. And what is the possibility that this election or those that will be elected by the conduct of the local government election will not be thrown out of office by the upcoming litigations? Secondly, finally, sir, I also want to believe that as we speak right now, sir, the emergency rule is not telling good on us. I watched on the news of what played out in the National Assembly, where we also question the legitimacy of a now energy as a research chairman. How are we going to be able to handle situations like this when the election will come up? What is the possibility, sir, that people may turn up to vote come 30th of August when the election will come up? What is the possibility, sir, that people may turn up to vote come 30th of August as a result of this election and as a result of the emergency rule that so many Rivers people are not happy and also need the reinstatement of the suspended governor? Thank you and God bless you.
And you too. I don't know if you got his answers, right? But they are hell bent on going ahead to conduct the election. Like he said, as bad as Nigerian court is, right? I don't know if Wike will let that happen though. And if any court rule that the election is wrong, Wike will get it overturned probably at another court or in another court or at another level too. Well, I'll leave that for now. A lot of us have been seeing a series of sponsored protests against Nigerians in Ghana, where Ghanaians have been incited to hit the streets, blame Nigerians for wherever the economic imbalance or what have you that they faces in their country, leveraging on the propaganda as well as the bigotry, tribalism, this tribal war, online tribal war between Nigerians as well. So they have done so well enough to target what do you call it, that Igbos are their main target, especially when the 2013 video of a self-made Igbo king in Accra, a video that the man came out later to debunk and say, well, no, there's nothing like that anymore. So it is obvious that they actually possibly have people sponsoring that. So a minister from Ghana who was with a minister in Nigeria, Odime Gojuku's wife, who is a minister now, Bianca. So they had a press conference where this Ghanaian minister has a message for some of you, because they know that all those things you are seeing online, they are actually being sponsored. So what is the end goal? Nobody knows. It is beyond Igbo this or Igbo that as we speak. And here is what they said their president has for all of you. With your Igbophobia too. Maybe you should watch this.
On behalf of President John Dramani Mahama, we welcome the Minister of State from the Federal Republic of Nigeria in charge of Foreign Affairs to Ghana. We have just concluded a very successful bilateral discussion on the recent disturbances which have sought to undermine the cordial and friendly relations that has existed between our two countries historically. The Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs of Nigeria has conveyed a message from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which message will also be delivered to his brother, President John Dramani Mahama. And it is a message of peace, it is a message of love, it is a message that reiterates the inseparable bond of friendship and brotherhood between our two countries. As we have agreed, the video that went viral, which incensed Ghanaians legitimately, we were all outraged when we saw that video. That video has been condemned by our counterparts from Nigeria. They have reprimanded the gentleman. He has been asked not to engage in such statements and such commentary. As you do know, I had met him earlier, and he was very contrite in the meeting, has apologized. He's issued a public statement apologizing to President Mahama, to the government and people of Ghana. And based on his conduct, he has demonstrated good faith that he's really, upon reflection, apologetic and will not tread that path any longer. It is also important to emphasize that we have agreed that we will deepen our community-to-community engagements. We are conscious of our history, that even though we have a historical background with a lot of ethnic groups having the same heritage and antecedents. We do know, for example, that the Ewe people migrated together with Nigerians, sojourned in Ile-Ife, and continue to the Gold Coast. The Gans have a similar story. So we have very interesting anthropological antecedents, which shows that we are one people. But regardless of that, there have been times in our history where we have had skirmishes. You remember the Aliens Compliance Order. We saw a number of so-called... It is also important to emphasize that we have agreed that we will deepen our community-to-community engagements. We are conscious of our history, that even though we have a historical background with a lot of ethnic groups having the same heritage and antecedents. You do know, for example, that the Ewe people migrated together with Nigerians, sojourned in Ile-Ife, and continued to the Gold Coast. The Gans have a similar story. So we have very interesting anthropological antecedents, which shows that we are one people. But regardless of that, there have been times in our history where we have had skirmishes. You remember the Aliens Compliance Order, which saw a number of so-called foreigners being removed from Ghana. And then you also recall Ghana Must Go in 1983, where over 1 million Ghanaians were forced out of Nigeria. So we are conscious of that history, which should guide all of us, that if these things are not managed well, it could take us back to certain dark occurrences in our history. That is why we have been demonstrating a lot of maturity and asking that we douse the flames, we show compassion, we should remember that we are one people. Let's always remember that Ghana, as the headquarters of Pan-Africanism, what Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the founder of our country, taught us is that we should ignore artificial boundaries. We are one people. And let us always remember that there is a bigger goal, a bigger Pan-African agenda where we want to form an all-united states of Africa.
Like I said before, I came and I saw with my own 2 eyes that there were not tires burning on the streets and people with placards everywhere urging Nigerians to be deported. And it speaks to how the government of President John Mahama was able to rise to the occasion. President Mahama and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are like brothers. Of course, Nigerians were in a very festive mood during the inauguration ceremony of President Mahama. Our president was here and for the occasion, and he gave a very, very impassioned speech, which speaks to the special bond that exists between these two gentlemen, and by extension, the bonds that exist between Ghanaians and Nigerians. So the message, in short, would be that there is no cause for alarm. The situation is being handled quite effectively. We will continue with our stakeholder engagement. We have met some of the dramatis personae, the people who are in the melt of this crisis. We will continue to meet people, stakeholders across all segments to ensure that the ways and means to continue to douse tensions, to continue to ensure that this is not a situation that repeats itself.
Mm-hmm. So Bianca was there to help douse the tension. So meaning, as bad as Koolu is, there are still people who have his ears to let him know that it is cooking or it is brewing or Nigerians could get or come under serious attacks in Ghana. And there are people who are actually sponsoring that. It is not spontaneous. It is not. So I pray that work. Just like I saw another first lady. She was the Biafran first lady, by the way. And here is another one. Soludo's wife is taken after Koolu's wife. Rat. She has a farm. Now she's harvesting tomato. Anambra people. Here's your first lady.
See how beautiful. Get your seeds and have your own backyard garden. From this, a family where just one line of this. I want any business with tomato mafia. I'm telling you. And don't enjoy. The joy in them when harvesting this. It's 2 hours here now. By tomorrow you see red ones again. We'll launch it. We'll launch our farmers market. And I hear one more things. Tomatoes, vegetables, nchangwa. Very cheap. Cucumber. Oh, wow.
So you are encouraged to have your own greenhouse and grow some vegetables. But that used to be a thing. Well, today people are even building houses. You will see all these fine houses. Yeah. And there's no one greenery anywhere. No tree, no nothing. They say, this mansion, that mansion. I look at them, I'm like, where are the trees? Yeah. When I was growing up, in front of our house in Odogbolu, we planted okra that I just have to come out and pluck few. We planted ewedu. We had bitter leaf. We had, I'm trying to remember so many of them. We had lemongrass. That one is simply just when you feel feverish or you have a fever or typhoid or something. So you go out there, you cut that. We had is ephedrine called moringa. Which one is moringa again? Because we call it ephedrine in Ijebu. So the entire front of the house, we had another one we called the ewe lakpa. You remember that one, right? So we had another one, ewe sandpaper. If you get all these rashes, they will go and grab away sandpaper, like sandpaper. Now leave no sandpaper, all that place away. And they will just put in some ewuru and all of that stuff. At the side of our house, we had all this cocoyam. Yeah, cocoyams, water yams, yam on the side. When you go to the back of our house, you're going to get a pawpaw. You see pawpaw. And we didn't have compound like that. So it was just side of the house, front of the house, side of the house. There are those who had their own compound that have, they had bananas, like plantain, planted bananas, oranges, name it. Apart from those trees providing fruits, fresh fruits, they also provide a very good ecosystem, like shade that helps you to conserve energy, something like that. But we don't have much of that anymore right now. Everybody just wants to build everywhere they can see, every land, everywhere. So yeah, Anambra First Lady, well done. Oh. Rat also has a farm. The difference is that we saw rats that planted, what do you call it? She planted tomato. Only for her to go and harvest ugu 3 weeks later. That's why we didn't trust her. I didn't see Soludom's wife's, the fresher when she started planting. So I wouldn't know what she planted, but we also what she harvested. It was rats that planted their tomato right before her very eyes. So, madam, na tomato you they plant? Say na tomato. 3 weeks later, they posted a picture where she harvested ugu. Say, how can somebody plant tomato and harvest ugu? Nigeria, the abracadabra. So I will probably leave that behind. On our way, we checked on Abia. And somebody actually posted a video, by the way. Again, showing to us what Alex Otti is doing in Abia. And again, I'll keep reminding you, if you have been following their politics in Abia State in the last 24 years, before the last 2, you understand why an average Abian will be so elated, seeing a real, tangible, and quality project in their lifetime. It is like a miracle. But if you are from where, somewhere else like where they kind of do this regularly.
Dr. Alex Chomoti and your American Choman Dabia Lequano Manoko Bridge. Lequano Bridge Bicono. Lequano Bridge Jehovah Kelly Keloa. Lequano Bridge of Manoko Bicono. Just 2 years. Dr. Alex Chomoti, Ugwaro Kibo, Mazem, bekee ọka agbọghọ mma nwoke dị beautiful ọkọnkọ ndị inyom chioma ndị Abia steeti nwa arụ oke Igbo ji aga mba ọka ọha ogologo olu dagburu ọha lekwenu briji bikono lekwenu Julius Berger standard eo na ịṅụrụ Alex ihe ọma dị mma wo ayo ịṅụrụ ọdọ wo ayo ịṅụrụ ọdọ wo ayo abịatọgbu okwu onwe n'ụtọ ọ gịnị ihe na-adị m otu a Chineke gọzie Dr. Alex Chioma Oti ugwu arụ oke Igbo ya gaziere gị nna m more grace ndewo bekee
Chikuzie. So like I said, that is the state where the state governors, one of the projects of Ekweazu as the governor of governor of Abia State was his, and he's very proud of it too, was his healthcare, maternity healthcare program. If you were a pregnant woman in Abia State under Ekweazu and you put to bed, Ekweazu will give you 500 naira. Don't ask me for what. It is the state government's policy to pay so that they can support the mother. According to him, in case if the mother is not kind of like producing milk that first day, they can use the 500 naira to buy a camel for the baby. That's not how he put it, because that's what I think it can actually buy. They said to take care of the mother. It's just a gift. It's a gift. It went on national TV to actually defend that. Some people loved it. They loved it. It was that terrible. Governance in that place was like a horrible before these guys. So when you see them see real projects started and ongoing, and they're like, that's a real one. Oh, it's a breach. You can look at it and say, why are they happy about this? You have no idea. Last 24 years, half of Nigerian states, they were just pure piggy banks for those who were opportune to rule them. Abia is one of them. So I'll leave all of you to that, okay? Let's go to bed. I'm not tired not to talk, but I always take advantage of us not so busy to leave early. And tonight is like one of them. I'm going to see you tomorrow, right? Join us during the brunch time. And that's another time where you can indeed phone in, say something that you've always wanted to say. As we are signing out tonight, please like the broadcast, share it, subscribe to my channel, and of course, join me again, like I said, okay? Enjoy the rest of your night. Sorry about that. So I've got something blinking it there, okay? Sorry about that. So good night, everyone. From Mayegun.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì àní ẹ̀ súnra kì lórí Facebook àní ẹ̀ súnra kì lórí YouTube àní ẹ̀ súnra kì bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́ àní ẹ̀ súnra kì ijó ìgbádìyẹ àní ẹ̀ súnra kì pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o àní ẹ̀ súnra kì gómìnà kówó jẹ àní ẹ̀ súnra kì ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá àní ẹ̀ súnra kì aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o àní ẹ̀ súnra kì òwúrọ̀ olóṣèlú àní ẹ̀ súnra kì ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì àní ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.